It is going to take all of my willpower not to say something super inappropriate, though.
We were live when you said that. You actually just welcomed everyone to chat.
Of course I
Hi,
did.
everyone. Welcome to the first inaugural Broke and Preppin, also known as me teaching Cody how to do stuff in Canva. And Cody's wonderful avatar is his pupper Gracie. I promise he's not actually a golden retriever. Although he does have the
I mean, I
energy.
kind of am.
Yeah, he kind of is. He has the soul of a golden retriever.
I do.
And
And I have a lot of their hair on me as well.
and my headset just told me it disconnected, so give me a second because I have
Oh no.
Oh, there it is. It's back. Okay. I don't know what it disconnected from, but it did. So, anyway, why is my... Hopefully my chatbot is actually working. I'd really like if it was. We'll find out. Anyway, so, the plan is... Tell us the plan, Cody.
Oh, the plan is for Sam to show me some cool stuff that's like what you can do with Canva, and then we're going to work together on a newspaper article that's for my Delta Green players. That'll kind of allude to some of the adventures that they've been on and one that they're currently on.
Which, like, we're gonna keep Delta Green spoilers to a minimum because I'm probably gonna be playing a lot of Delta Green stuff. But I know you know that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think it will be
Same.
sufficiently vague that no one could possibly figure out something they weren't meant to know.
Alright. Excellent. So for the most part, just saying, anybody feel free to put things in chat if you so choose. Hopefully we'll see it. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. Otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna hang out. So, what would you like to create here? I know we've kind of talked about it, but, newspaper. Yes. Give me details.
Yeah, we were going to go for the front page of the Boston Globe on, I think, October 21st would work for my group.
All right. So let me. October 21st. Not gonna do a certain person's birth. I don't know. I don't know if Scott would appreciate me dropping his birthday lore. So maybe I won't. Okay. So step one. In my newspaper plans, we Google. We go to images. Behold. I just realized. Oh yeah, I am gonna have to share my screen because you are gonna have to see it, not on the stream because there is gonna be a delay. All right. I'm on my desktop. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I mean, if my computer starts screaming at me, we'll know. All right. So, fortunately, the main setup and like the title page has not really changed since like ever. So that's good. But we want Boston Globe front page 2017. Apparently they did, and I mean we're not getting political here, but apparently they made a fake like ad or something against a certain person in 2017, so that shows up when you search for the front page all the time. I'm just saying. But you said October. I can spell October. Anytime I'm like, let me screen record myself typing something. That always goes so well. And it looks like nothing super pops up. There are a couple of ways to find this. It doesn't really matter as long as we find something close. This one's on Wikipedia. But they all basically have roughly the same layout. I don't know, that one's really old. But here's the number one tip that I have. And that is, everybody knows archive. archive.org. Nobody saw my archive of our own link up there. I think I intentionally covered the like search bar. But archive.org has the Wayback Machine, but also has a ton of stuff. So, Boston Globe. Behold.
Cool.
2017. 2017. And every single front page. Maybe not every single, but you said October.
My goodness, this is specific. Yeah, so
There's October 20th.
Again, without giving anything away, a murder takes place on October 21st in their current adventure. So it would make sense if the paper that day had it published.
Right. So here is the homepage for them from October 20th that I just happened to find. This works a lot better for older newspapers where... So this is like the whole like front page scroll. So arguably if you wanted to like find a story, you could go here. Just for illustration's sake, I'm going to show you for one of the ones I did for Blades in the Dark. I'm just going to show you just so you understand that going back, although this one does have more recent, like Wall Street Journal, but these are annoying because this is 1927. It's not 1927. It is 1957. And you know that by zooming in on it. However, this is an entire paper.
Wow.
And so that is where, actually, let me pull up.
Paper publishing of bond rates? Wow.
Yeah.
The old days were crazy.
There's some that actually get older. Not weekly view, stay published. Here's the 1889 New York Lumber Trade Journal. But,
wow.
Yeah. There's a ton of stuff on archive.org, and the beautiful thing is most of those ads and things are in, let's see, here's 1913, Atlanta Constitution. You can take a lot of the ads, like, directly from there, because, you know, like, they fit.
Very cool.
Now, some of them, like, these are hard to read. You got to really, like, zoom in on them. But just for context, hang on, let me go back to where was it? I know buttons. We'll just use this one real quick. But so, all right, you see that? Behold. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Then you might recognize that, which is what I made for Blades.
Oh.
So that's kind of how I do it. Now, going back to the Boston Globe, they didn't really have anything that was specifically from 2017, but their masthead hasn't changed that much.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be that perfectly authentic for me either. As long as it
okay.
looks a newspapery, I will be content. But yeah, it's great to know that, like, this is how you would do it theoretically if you want to make the most accurate replication possible.
Yeah. And I mean, there are other, like, newspaper databases, different things. Let's see. Okay, here's 2016 cover. So basically, and I mean, here's some of the ones that are, like, much, much older.
Yeah.
But it's just finding one that doesn't even necessarily have to be readable. That's 2017, so that would definitely be the masthead. You just need to get one that, like, you like the vibe of.
Right.
And then pick that. I was hoping this one would be larger. There is also, of course, the wonderful tools up here. Size, large. Alas.
Ah, what a fantastic filter.
Okay, well, oh, that's because I still have that in there. We're just going to do 2017. That's a cover. So I'll throw that one over there.
Yes, it is.
And sports ball something. This is where I embarrass myself.
Indeed.
Because I'm like, I don't know.
That was the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history. That's why that one was so important.
Okay, cool. I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then, okay, these are all, I guess, okay, that's the special section or whatever. But pretty much, you just pick one. I mean, these obviously have, like, the benefit of having a gigantic picture on the cover. So it really comes down to what you want to include. I was looking for one that had slightly more text. If you want some of the older feel and not necessarily as accurate, I mean, you can, you know. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. This says 38 big stories from 150 years of Globe coverage. Are you going to make me have to have an account? Or are you just not going to have pictures? You're just not going to have pictures. Okay. Jerks. How dare they not let me rip off their designs? Hilariously, their fake mock-up ad might actually have like the best room. But yeah, how much?
I did find two pictures to accompany the articles in the event you needed one to fill space.
Oh well, I mean, you would have one anyway because that is what would happen. Actually, like I said, this is I know this was made as like a thing, and I try not to get political, but I like this layout, so we're gonna use it.
Yeah, like structurally, that's actually pretty good.
All right, so what you're gonna do? And actually, hang on, let me take this out of here for just a second because I want to send you an invite. Can you just send me an email that you use for Canva, like just in Discord?
Sure. The address or
yeah, the email address, so I can then invite you to this, so then you can see it on there. Where did I put my beverage? There it is.
The avatar surprised me again.
Oh, Gracie.
I love her.
She's adorable. Oh. Boo. It doesn't have a fun team name, but you should be getting an email. That will link you to that, but I will pull this back on the screen.
I'll open my
yeah
Gmail address. Explore Canva Teams. Should I just skip this?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. What do I click on now?
Do you see a thing that says, you can edit this. What does your, if you go to projects,
it says you've accepted the team invite. Projects. Okay.
Yeah.
All of you and your team's content will live here. Create design or create folder. Owner. Shared with you. No shared designs found.
You're on the team. Interesting. Reload this page? Maybe because I hadn't titled it yet? Alright, well that's gonna be a butt. Then, as long as you can still see it on my Discord, we can continue on. Apologies for that. We can get that fixed later.
Okay, yeah. It still has not popped, but I will keep refreshing it in the background.
Yeah, there might be something weird about the way it's... I don't know. Maybe I didn't set it up right. But anyway, so we copy paste. Nope, that's your email. I'm real sorry about that one.
That's okay.
Where'd it go? Or was I just clicking it out of here? I think I was just copy. And then you paste it in there. It will go over here to a whole bunch of logos. You can see where I've made up different things. And look, there's Gracie.
My baby.
But I set this up to be roughly newspaper sized. You know what? I don't want to look at this anymore. Transparency way down, because you just want to see it. Behold. Now, that is a really big header. I'm going to say we don't have the really big header, because then you'll be able to get more into it. But, most importantly, and what sells it, what font is it? That's what they've...
You are just a font of knowledge, you know that?
You're welcome. Thanks, I heard it. Okay, it is a custom version of Cloister Black by Matthew Carter. And yeah, I do know that. However, there is also this wonderful thing called Wikimedia Commons, where, look at that. There it is. And copy paste.
Incredible.
Yep. A lot of this is just, it's really funny because like the Control-C, Control-V like on my Surface is actually like almost completely worn through. Because a lot of this is just that. So, there we go. That is centered. So, let me show you a little bit around Canva. I realize it's not...
And that's wikimedia.com?
Yep.
Okay, let me put that in my notes.
Something you'll notice is if you go to a, like on a Wikipedia page, because like here's like the use of it. So if you go to like a web page and you go all the way to the bottom, it will typically have like a Wikimedia related to this. Now obviously like don't use this for nefarious purposes because this is still their logo, you know.
Right.
But,
yeah.
All right. So with Canva, let me see, because it does not, the way I have this set up, because I wanted to cut off some of the things that I'm doing, it doesn't have this side screen, so I'm just going to scooch just a little bit so people can see sort of what I'm doing over here. You got these tabs. Design gives you templates. Elements give you items. There's a bunch of different things you can put in there. Text blocks, or like fancy things. Brand is like for Canva Pro, but also like you can load in like stuff for a brand. I haven't done that. Uploads, again, that was like all the various things. Tools are, I mean, you can just draw on things if you want to.
So I apologize just because I'm a total goober here. The uploads are things that you've specifically uploaded to Canva?
Yeah,
okay.
so
it's not automatically scanning your hard drive and finding stuff.
You can link
cool.
You can link like drives and stuff like that to it. I don't. I keep needing to click off that, so it's not like here are all the things I'm working on. And then there is a projects tab that will bring up like various projects. So like here's an example of This is actually what I made your avatar in, but also it's various ads from Duskfall, so I could literally just, like, you know, embed the design if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And then they have a whole bunch of apps that are third-party stuff that we're not going to get into. So back to this. All right. So there we go, Boston Globe. So like I said, that's up there. Let me shift this back over because, again, I don't want everyone seeing everything that's in my thing all the time. All right. Text. Add a heading. You click it. It adds a heading. What is your title? What is your big thing?
Let's start with Glen Ridge Chiropractor Strikes Again.
Glen Ridge Practor. Nope. I tried.
Thought it was with an O.
It is.
O-R, yeah.
Strikes again. Okay. Actually, hang on just 1 second, because I forgot. What is their headline font? Miller and Pointner Gothic. Because... that helps. So, Miller Globe text. Okay. Probably not going to be in Canva, because Canva has to have, like, the license for the fonts. Here are all your fonts. These are all the ones that I've uploaded from various things, so ignore those. You won't have those. But you do have a whole bunch of... There's, like, handwriting, corporate, display. You can search. You can find. A whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
But one of the things is... Let's see what I say that was. It was a Gothic. So you type in Gothic fonts, and then that will come up. That is a type of font. I just forgot the name of it. Miller Globe text, that's what it was. So we can try it, but since it was made for it, probably not. Nope. So, what you do, fonts like Miller Globe text. Behold. Georgia Bold. I love how it's like Miller Display Italic. That's the same thing. Sometimes, like, the Google AI overview dumb stuff will actually help. Baskerville. Okay, Baskerville is close, and I know we have Baskerville.
Fantastic.
So there's several versions of Baskerville. Now, if you want to get real crazy, we're going to hang on to that. But, okay, so here's the title. Deportations to begin. Now, if this was the exact font, you could be a lot more granular with this. But basically what you're going to do is match it.
Okay.
And I've done this, actually, to a few things where I'm like, I want this to look like the, whatchamacallit, like whatever is in some sort of, like, player's handbook, or, like, whatever I'm trying to, like, copy a thing. I will do that. Now, obviously, this is slightly different, because it's not the same font, but you can also look at different types. That actually looks closer. Ayo. What about that one? Oh, I think we have a winner. The O's aren't right, but I don't care.
It looks good to me.
Alright, so. Now, if you click on this, go up to this little paint roller, or Control-Alt-C, but this little paint roller. Now go, click on it, hover down here, wha-bam. Now. But, Sam, I want it in all caps. You click the all caps button.
Okay.
Now we have a couple of options. Either shrink it down to where it fits, or find a shorter logo. Or not logo, sorry, my bad. Shorter headline.
Right, come up with a shorter title.
Yep.
Right.
So we're just going to keep it a Glen Ridge Chiropractor for right now, because we're still setting this up. We just want something. Now,
Right.
when you get something lined up, that pink line there will show you're in the center. You can also get it if you click position. You have all of these tools. And you can like kind of, move it around. But here we go. Okay. Now, Canva has under its elements these handy things called frames that are exactly what they look like, and they are just here for you to drop a picture in later. They have some that are more artistic that will like do effects and stuff like that. We don't care. We just, there you go. Also, just because I was tired of looking at that picture, moving on.
Fantastic. Okay.
You can also just like they have like shapes up here. You can just also like just drop a square. But there we go. And then what you can do when you have a picture, say, this picture of Gracie, you can just slap her in. And she's already like in the right size if you're like, but no, I don't want that. What I want is the landing page for Ash and Ambitions. You just drag it over. Now, what about like a screen cap from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle? It's also there. This is all stuff that's in my uploads. Have a Remy. I'm weird.
And this just replaces whatever was in it before.
Yep.
Okay.
And as with most things, Control-Z, Control-Shift-Z.
Fantastic. Okay, yeah.
Also up here at the top. I always forget to show this off. Like, there is a file button, but most of it is for, like, make copy, put in folder. There's not really much you do with it. There's resize, which you won't have, but as, like, a pro user, you can make things into multiple sizes. Then, like Google Docs, you have editing, commenting, and viewing. So, like, I could lock it to where you couldn't come back in later and mess with things.
Right.
This looks like Remy's a chiropractor, and I'm here for it. So, now what we're doing is just going through and, for now at least, putting in stuff that is it helps if my caps lock's on. Placeholder text.
Okay, right. So that's where it would be like third victim found in the wee hours of the morning or whatever.
Yeah, this would be like killer strikes again, third victim found, blah, 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 blah. So, like, there's your heading. This would be, I typically do it, subheading. This is larger than the text before. So I just try to get close. I mean, this will ultimately end up being moved around, but there we go. That's kind of close. There are two ways you can do this. I typically leave the text box wide enough so that I don't have to expand it again. You can double click and it will like slurp in.
Okay.
And I know I'm going really fast. There's partially a reason for some of this because I'm just trying to show you what you can do. And then once we make this one, we're going to make another and you're going to make it. Surprise, that's why you have a Canva account.
Oh boy.
If you want a week to play with it, you can. We can come back next week. But, alright. So that would be sort of like subheading. Then we're going to get into, and I just typically copy paste. You can grab like more text over here on the side. And if it is, again, if you have like brand stuff in there, which again, I don't do, it would have things. But I do this also because you can mess with like line spacing and character spacing, that this way it just keeps it. So this is like subheading. So we're going to do subheading. And then creep on up on it. Okay, that one I do want to slurp in. Alright. So, you notice how, there are margins, right? You can get Canva to show you a bunch of margins. Especially like if you're doing printing, it'll show you like, oh, it might not print if it's here. I typically don't do that. For the simple reason that most of the time I'm doing it for VTT, so it doesn't really matter. And more importantly, let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's mainly the thing. But you can go up to here to File, Settings, Show Rulers. Have you ever used like Photoshop or anything like that?
Maybe once. That was it.
So to get a guide, you basically just click over here in the ruler and drag.
Okay.
And then when you drop it down, it'll stay. And now it's really easy to just like snap things over to it.
Okay. That's great.
And so basically you just line it up. Now, I mean, arguably I could do that first. Like if you go over to, I don't know if I already cleaned it up over here. But for the Exchequer Journal, I had pretty much every line you see on here had a guideline, had a, like, it was bonkers. But do that and essentially find where either the newspaper puts a line where text cuts off or stops. Anything that you would want to hang on to long after we remove this back image.
And you aim to get it kind of flush with the text.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Because this is going to be where... Because this is going to be our body text, which that's going to be ridiculously large. And you're going to... Now, drop caps are not really a thing in Canva. I mean, if somebody has, and somebody's watching, I think it's just us squirrel friends. Maybe not. I don't... Ooh, no, maybe not. Maybe there are people. Hello. I'm not quite sure how to do drop text other than, like, manually making the P that big and then moving on with my life. But... we can get... It might be in an app or something. I'm not... let's just look. Drop cap. I don't see it off the top of my head, so probably not. This isn't really supposed to, like... This is supposed to be for people who don't want to use InDesign rather than me using it as a cheaper InDesign. So... you just find the body text if you want to use the same font. I'm trying to remember Boston Globe font. I think I hear a cat because there was that, and then Pointner Gothic. Okay, it is just those two. Just a second while I let a cat into the room before she starts screaming.
For a second, I thought it was Gracie playing with her toy on my hand because I can hear her squeaking.
Oh, that might have been the squeaking. This was a Kyra scratching at the door. I have to keep the door closed because of sound. But Kyra is a cat and therefore perpetually on the wrong side of the door. You know, as you do. So, alright. Got subheading. A little bit of body text. Now, if you wanted to be fancy, you could kind of find, like, oh, here's a different, like, a Baskerville font. You can use the same one. Or, if you click over here, see how these have, like, regular semi-bold, bold, black? It's not just, like, bold and italic. So over here, this is in bold. But I can also put it in black.
Okay, yeah, and that helps differentiate headings and subheadings. And,
right.
Yeah.
There's also some, let me see if those don't have it. I know the one I used over here does. I think this one does. So yeah, so you've got, let's see, let me get it to show. My screen is so big. There it is. Thin, light, regular, semi-bold, bold, black. And so you're able to get a lot of variation. Like here is all the same, but it doesn't look the same because of those. So that is a consideration. But again, modern newspapers honestly aren't that pretty. They tend to be pretty simple. So,
right.
We'll just stick with that. I think there's like a lorem ipsum generator in Canva, but I just literally use lipsum.com. Generate. Behold. Here's a whole bunch of Latin. Or something.
Makes for excellent dummy text.
Yep. I mean, that's what it is. So, a couple of things. One, it showed up all centered. We don't want that. What we actually want is this alignment that everyone hates when you put anything in, but it is for newspapers. So, There we go. Now, the next thing. In looking at this, I keep on... So, for the folks at home, I typically do this on my Surface, which means I have my trackpad, which means my zooming is very different. So I keep going, how do I do this on a keyboard? All right, so this is a bunch of like wide spacing, right? No bueno. See up here?
Real quick, sorry. Would this work on an iPad the same way it works on a Surface, or is it dumber?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
It should, if you can go, it's a web app, so it should work just fine. Now, I don't fully, like, I mean, I use my trackpad and keyboard with my Surface. I don't do a full, like, Surface Pen very often. The touch controls on these are not the best. I mean, we can always, like, for another stream, I mean, I can do it with the touch controls, like, on my Surface. But it should work. If it's in a browser, it'll work. If you go up here, spacing. Now, for some reason, just kind of like how Google Docs now thinks everything should be 1.15 spacing, which I hate, you can mess with the line spacing. And
okay.
This is why we kept...
Got it, yeah.
Yep, this is why we kept the... I'm going to up this just a little bit more. Like, the stuff in the back is because you're essentially wanting to get it pretty close. You can just use the slider. Now, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can try to get it super, super close. Like, when I was trying to, like, replicate a thing, I was really going for it. But honestly, like, that should work. And you can always use that. It's also a good way to kind of cheat if you've got more text like this that you want in. Now, unlike InDesign, this will not wrap from column to column. You have to manually do that. Which means for something like this editorial, I had to balance the paragraphs to get these to work.
Okay.
That kind of sucks. So, to put these over here. So basically the best way I found to do it is kind of get, roughly close. And then just cut. Go back up here. This will duplicate what you did with everything roughly the same. So you notice this actually has a smaller column by just a little bit. So we're going to make it a little smaller. We're going to paste. Get rid of that. Line that up. Same thing. After the EU. Get rid of that. And now if all you're doing is making it with dummy text, it's great, because then you're done. That is the other thing, is once you duplicate once that way, it will make an array if you hit duplicate again with the same spacing. I love it.
Okay.
Now, observe. We ran out of room. That means either change the design or change the length. And because this is just filler text that I made, we just change the length and say goodbye to that forever. That is the basic...
That was some of the best Latin I've ever seen. I can't believe you cut it.
I know. I'm so terrible. Alright, we're going to copy this over. Second...
But this is good, because now I know, like, okay, this is how much space I have to fill
right
as I write out the actual article that I'm going to stick in there.
Right, and so the nice thing about it, too, is you can then put it... It's not one-to-one, because like, kerning and stuff does happen, but it's a handy thing to... Oop, go back, Remy. To do where you... like, you can throw this into a word counter. Like, add all these up, throw it in a word counter, and you can get a rough idea. how you want to do that.
Fantastic.
All right.
Yeah.
So same thing here. If this is our second heading, see that has it that way, but that's a little too big. And go up line spacing, just kind of finagle it, how you want. I typically try to get the headings to be the same width as what I'm going to have the body be. But
that makes sense.
Like
yeah.
that's the line that they had. Here is the text. So I just go over here, grab that one. And there you go. And you can trade those around. Go back down here. This is going to drive me nuts. There we go. Take second heading. This is the same thing. Click drag. And some of it is literally just like moving around, what you have to get it. And I'm going to show you, like, some of this I'm just doing.
But once you have one of the little blocks from it replicating, it's relatively easy to just like stick that in all the little spots and then slightly resize it.
Yeah. Same thing with like the secondary heading. You can kind of do that. And some of these I'm not necessarily dropping, although because the newspaper actually like continues farther down than this one is, so we're probably gonna like make up some stuff down here. Now there is right now we have these guides. I'm gonna get rid of that guide because there's a line there in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want a line, you go up to Elements, Shapes, Line.
Okay.
And then a line appears. You can also do it by hitting L on the keyboard.
And just clicking L spawns a new one.
It spawns a new one. Yep.
And then you move it around. Okay.
Yep. You have color here, and it will actually. You can draw color from images, which is nice. That's on the page. You can change color. You can change the stroke thickness. I'm gonna just make it bigger for illustration. You can make it dashed. You can make it even more dashed. You can make it dots, and then you can choose whether it's rounded or not. You can't change the dash widths beyond these. Like, it doesn't get super granular, but it does what it does. If you can't get a line thin enough, double the size of your design, and then just remember to shrink it when you're done. Because the line width will only get so small, like pixel-wise.
Got it.
So, here we go. Now, you can, this is, I don't know if you've ever put a wall in Foundry. TTRPG folk watching this, you know what I mean. It's kind of the same thing. You click, you drag. If you notice, it shows, like, length, but it also shows degrees. That's because you can go into position up here and edit it. Like, say I want it 27.5 degrees. There it is.
Okay.
Now, you see how it moved that text block?
Yes.
I hate that.
Okay.
It's great when you're trying to make, like, mind maps and stuff like that, because lines will stick to things. But it sucks when you don't want them to. So I accidentally attached that. So you just have to be careful. Hitting Shift keeps it from doing it. Also, it forces you to be in a straight line. Or straight line or 45.
Okay. That is very helpful.
Yep. So you do that, and then this is where like the other guidelines come in handy, because you can kind of just make them all match up, and then eventually you don't need the guidelines you put down because you've got your actual lines. And also, once you get it the way you like it, I mean, this is just like a weight of 1, so that's not that hard. But if you've had to do a bunch of tweaks or whatever, it duplicates same thing as the text blocks or anything, and then just, duplicate it. And okay, come on, don't show your butt here, browser. So it doesn't like it when they're. Hey, there we go. We'll just drop another page down there. It doesn't like it otherwise.
You might have to show me that again. My little pea brain just short circuited.
Okay.
Right. How did you move the margin?
Oh, I mean, that's a new page.
From there. Okay.
So that's page 1. Page 2, if you scroll all the way down, there's an add a page.
Mm.
And it will add a page. So it's not actually a margin, it's a whole new page.
Okay, and it's just that, okay, and you just drew a black line, the one that's to the left of it. Sorry, scroll up a little bit.
This line in the middle?
Left of the new libel law thing,
yeah,
that's
the one I just made.
Right.
It's just, okay. It didn't like scrolling
and
all the way
that's
down.
just a regular black line, not one of the margin alignment purple-y lines.
Yep.
Okay.
The purple thin, so I don't think you can get the stroke lines to be as thin as these, but I mean, unless you get this exact purple. You can also tell the difference because I'm pointing at my screen, you can see my finger. But up at the top, you'll see it shows the because I did this in inches, it'll show the measurements.
Okay.
Where it is. You can't also get it to do in pixels. When I originally did newspapers, I knew the size of a newspaper in inches, so that's what I put in.
Got it.
So.
Okay, and so if you move the purple alignment thing now, that doesn't change the box that previously snapped to it.
Right.
Okay.
That doesn't stick. You can snap to it, but it doesn't stick.
Got it.
So here, because see, if say we didn't want the heading to go all the way across, we just wanted it to go here. See how the purple line now turns pink?
Yeah.
That means it's butting up against that.
Okay.
And honestly, I would probably, if you're wanting to save space, I would do it that way. That's just me though. And if you drag the purple lines off the canvas or over into the black zone, they'll just go away.
Yeah.
And you can draw them back out. Now, with something like this, you could theoretically use a square. Oh, hi, Kyra. You settling in? Please don't topple things this time. You could theoretically use a square, but I actually, maybe I'm a heathen, I prefer using lines because you can't, you're stuck with 4 lines that way. Or, 4 sides with a square.
Mm.
You can't get rid of them. This does just mean you gotta, and none of these, it's none of them attach. This you could use a box for down here. And I can show you that. So you go elements, shapes. And it'll pop up whatever color is it thinks is the best one in the picture, and I guess that's a Remy color, so it picked it. Click, drag. Drop. And then up here where you have colors, there's one that's transparent. And then you go to the line, stroke weight. Now you have a box.
Okay.
And because you're able to drag it off the thing, you're able to just get the 3 sides. So.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And you can do a lot of things with boxes, such as. What is that? Corners. Giving corners multiple sides? That's interesting. Oh, is it because of the rounding? Because you can, round corners, theoretically. This is interesting. Oh, I broke it. Come back. There it is. Nope. Oh, that's right, because if you drag it all the way over, it'll go to 0. That's why I couldn't see it. 1! Oh, that's off. And then if you want to lose your mind, you will spend forever dragging things back and forth to get right. And, yeah. And then we got a line here. So, let's get this a little bit bigger. I mean, I could have dropped guidelines to like match that, but I don't care. I mean, I do, but I don't. Also, center. There we go.
I mean, this is also a demonstration. Like, you don't have to do all the lines as long as you teach people how to do the lines.
My sweet summer child, do you think I'm going to let this be anything but done by the time I give it to you? Because now what we're going to do, because I don't like all that space up there, because while it's nice enough, I suppose, you know, for the actual newspaper, we kind of want that space for stuff, so we're gonna, it's gonna be about moving it up. Because when you make something the background, it will only go up so far. But I think we don't really need it. Now what I do, if you go up here, there's a duplicate page. And before I get rid of the background, I will duplicate it and leave this up here. Which is, if you go, like, this is the second page. So this is mine, like the Exchequer Journal. If you go up here, you'll see this is another fan-made newspaper that I like the top heading of it. So I had thrown that in the background. And so I just leave it, because there's not really a limit on the number of pages you can have. And so this way, if you really mess it up, you can go back. But this is a handy way to see what you've done so far. Now, obviously, I hadn't moved these up or anything, but that's what I'm doing now. Because eventually we're going to center things and do all of that stuff. You can also use the arrow keys to move, like, if you don't, up and down if you, like, want to get real. And shift-click, same thing with most things, it collects multiple, you know, as you do.
Fantastic. Yes.
Most of this is like, if you can do like word processor, you know, like your average thing, it will work. Oh, I'd already taken that line up. That's why.
If you were to rate my computer skills on a 1 to 10, it would be roughly a -1.
Okay.
So it's good that this is being explained to me.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll go over this, but this is, a lot of this is I just want to show you what can be done.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure out, like, what you want to do. Okay, there was also that little quote box thing there. And also, you can go up here and then, like, use this specific thing, do the same, like, type over it, figure it out, then copy and bring it down here. Which is, again, over here. You'll see where I built a whole lot of, like, this was from a newspaper clipping over here. Then I copied it. And then I wanted to change the name, and I was talking to Cadenix at the time. So, there you go.
Cool.
But I kind of use, like, other things as a canvas, because there's not really, like, a, you know, discard pile or, like, a workspace. So, that's why almost all of my designs have multiple pages. Alright, so, now, going back to this. Because serial killer, right?
Yes.
Serial killer headlines. Okay, Jack the Ripper, probably a little old. Yeah, BTK will work. Now, you don't have to have, my knowledge of serial killers for this. This is just, like, my job in a former life. Not being a serial killer. But forensic and legal psych. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of front pages. But essentially, you can look up all of that. What's real handy... let's see, serial murders in... Oh, this is just all that. No. Historic newspapers. There we go. This is a good one because you can see the various, like, what titles people put on things. There is also the, if you're going back for historic, oh, hi, Kyra. I'm going to have to get a cat cam, aren't I? You are about to crawl into my lap onto my keyboard. Okay, hello. They're just looking at my Google screen right now, babes. Can we not? Maybe. I'm just really glad that, like, this doesn't have, like, you know, my AO3 account on it or something. I need my hand. Cat. That's the mouse. Thank you. All right. I don't remember. I think it's Jack the Ripper case files. Casebook. Is it casebook? Yes. So, casebook for Jack the Ripper. These people are crazy. Press reports. Pick a journal. Pick a newspaper. Any of them.
Holy heck.
Yeah. And so we're going to go with the Penny Illustrated Press because I like it. We're going to go with 22nd of September. There we go. That is the text. That is the actual text. They have typed it all over. And the nice thing about this is that, one, if you need just, like, background... That's for 1970. The sun. Like, if you just need, like, filler or something, or if you're doing anything set, like, 1894, like, in, like, that time period, just steal from here.
Okay.
It's also good for getting the vibes. Also, George Bernard Shaw wrote some stuff, and he got real sassy. George Sims or Dagonet got very sassy and, like, wrote poems and did a whole bunch of stuff. So all of this is here. There's also, here's, like, a GIF file of the original article. And so, again, you can see... That's just another place. But that's a good thing, because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to write a Victorian things. It should be like ye olde English. No, it wasn't. It's really not that different. Like, I mean, September 9th, 1888. The Whitechapel murders, which have come to the relief of newspaper editors in search of a sensation, are not the kind of murders which pay best. That doesn't sound that different. This guy's hilarious, by the way. But anyway, that just looking that up reminded me that's a thing to do. But yeah, so historic papers. Essentially, this is like my other... This brings together all my weird side jobs, because I was the entertainment editor for my undergrad paper one year. I got into that because my grandmother was the entertainment editor for the local paper for 40 years. So that was the thing. But you want it short as possible, attention-grabbing as possible, so Glenridge Chiropractor Strikes Again is something you would be tempted to put in a fake newspaper because, oh, that will garner, you know, like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
But think about it. Why bother picking up the paper if you already know what happened?
Okay.
So you kind of want them to look at it. So...
You got to bait the click a little bit.
Right.
Right.
Which is one of the things where you go back to, I think I might have clicked out of it. Go back over here. Archive.org. Because this is where the... Oh, yeah, well, it helps if I... Oh, Kyra. Kyra's watching the computer. This is ridiculously cute. I mean, this is from 2014, but here's a homepage. So, man in custody after alleged carjacking, chase, shootout. That tells you what happened, but it also doesn't, like, tell you everything. You know what I mean?
Right, like there was a chase, there was a shootout.
Right, but, like,
what happened?
What are the details?
Yeah, exactly.
And so, actually, let's stick with Ted Bundy. This is going to bring up a whole bunch of stuff I don't necessarily like, you know... being all like, let's talk about serial killers, because I think we glorify them way too much. But that is what you're looking for in this works. Texts, I believe? Yes.
You make a very good point. In Delta Green, it's unfortunate that
yeah, well, I mean,
that is a common subject matter.
Well, yeah. Ted Bundy newspaper. So, oh, that's actually Ted Bundy wrote in on that one. But you can go and find some of the different headlines. Here's a 2016 or 2017. Trump will pick a Supreme Court pick tonight. Who are the choices? Gorsuch and Hardiman. But like, you are going to click through to see it. So it's not like you're not
Right.
completely burying the lead, but like you want people to click through. Actually, because Boston Marathon bombing headlines. Man, I'm really glad that like I'm not already monetized because I would have lost it now. But yeah, so like marathon terror. Okay, yeah, this is a whole bunch of blood and stuff. We're not. I don't have a safe search. I'll move it over here. Ah! I was just jumped on by a cat. But like
Excellent timing.
Yep. There's a quote from Chicago Tribune. We will find out who did this. Horror at marathon, terror hits home. Like that's the kind of like that's the big line.
Got it.
So I mean, even something like Killer Strikes Again.
Okay.
You can even be extra and be like exclamation point. But this is the Globe, and they seem to not use those. Hi, Kyra. Don't hit me with your tail, thank you. Are you just mad that I have Remy up here instead of you? Is that the problem, madam?
I have only one god, and it is Kyra.
Yeah, I know. I was looking to see if I had like an actual Kyra picture like in my whatchamacallit, like in my uploads. I do not. I do, however, have like the little pic crew I made for Kyra. So there you go. You can stare judgingly at people. But all right, here we go. So we could do Killer Strikes Again, and then it was Glenbridge. What's the chiropractor?
Glenridge. Sounds right.
Chiropractor.
Claims the third victim, or something.
Claims third victim. Then this would be like sort of like whatever like this particular is. Let's see, because this is again like this had like this heading, that heading. What's under here? Then like curfews extended in multiple cities because it was deportations to begin. President blah 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 blah. Curfews to extend. So like this would be something like police worried about stuff. We're just gonna put that for now. We'll fix it in a minute. Because some of this, like, this one kind of needs to be done after you've written, like, what actually, like, the focus of the story is.
Right.
Now, this over here is an entirely separate story.
Yes, so I was thinking that one might be their, or one of the other areas that we need to fill out would be about their previous adventure, where there's been a guilty plea for the murders at Boston Center, where just to kind of show like, oh, this is how they blamed the murders that happened.
Okay, what's the case? Like, where was the murder?
BMC deaths. Or BMC slayings, however you want to dress it up. But BMC is Boston Medical Center.
Okay. There we go. I don't know. We should have invited Scott, if you're watching, you can come in. Talk about Boston. There we go. I would also set that. I don't know if this is bold or black. That's regular, semi-bold. Bold is too much. Semi-bold. There we go. What about that one? That one needs to be either one of those. There we go. Now, do you have a picture?
I like how the Kyra picture is like a black cat, bad omen.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. She's like, who are you calling a bad
I mean,
omen?
I don't have a picture that I'm attached to, but I just downloaded like a, crime scene, whatever tape thing.
Okay, watch this.
Where are my downloads? Yeah.
Watch this. Elements. Over here.
Mm.
Let me go over. That's not my Streamlabs.
Wait, sorry. Is this picture for where Kyra is, or is it
yes,
for the
for where Kyra
VMC
is.
one?
For
okay,
where Kyra
yeah.
is. Go up here. Crime scene. Behold. And this is why Canva is amazing. Now, if you don't see a little crown on it, like that, then you can make it on your account and export it for no money. If it has a crown on it, that is basically with premium images. Now, because this is in a team, I don't know, since I have the team, if you would be allowed to do it for anything I'm on, or if I would have to do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, when you go up here to share, download, it will show you, or like export or whatever, like how much, like it tells me like this is how much money you saved with Canva Pro. But anything, I don't think, I look, yeah, none of these fonts are pro. Obviously the lines aren't, anything we upload isn't. But over here, there are some things like, I'm willing to bet that one is info, free for Canva Pro. Yeah, a lot of like the clip art and stuff like that, like, you just have to be cognizant of it.
So it sounds like Canva Pro does have a lot of like good images and clip art and stuff.
Yeah, it does, and it goes beyond like what's on. It does, like Pexels is included in here. There's some, but it goes beyond that, because you're able to really narrow in with what you want. Specifically, where did this killing occur?
Well, I don't want to spoil anything, but if there's
this one I need
a domicile or a highway.
Okay, well, it's not gonna
either one could work.
This isn't gonna necessarily spoil it. Like, it's a murder. Murders happen everywhere.
Yeah.
In front of a house.
Yeah, in front of a house would be fine.
So like that.
Sure, that'll do.
Oh man, you need to.
Be well, there. It would need to be a more expensive house, but yeah,
there we go.
That's
okay,
better.
Yeah, all right.
Technically, there's a balcony with French windows that are specifically involved, but they can just be on the back side of the house. That's fine.
No, unfortunately, a lot of this, it's like what like there are stock images of, but I mean, you can also just kind of go with a, oh, here's this. But
well, that works too, because near the highway would also work.
Okay. This is
there's the location of the body and the location of the abduction.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Both either would work.
Okay. So there's because yeah, that's not any better. This is almost a little bit more artistic than like a lot of places would do. Again, this is like the intersection of my various jobs. Like the reason why I had to click off the front pages from the Boston bombing, because I was like, oh, that's graphic.
Yeah.
But you can get it, let's see. So, but they'd also show like investigation, like there are things to click through. Crime scene, but also if you say I click on this picture, okay, these won't do it, but sometimes it will bring up like suggested, there we go, magic recommendations, which is essentially like people who liked this picture also liked these.
Okay.
And some pictures also come in collections. So if you right click, go to info, there's this view collections.
See, okay.
You can also just hit see more like this, and that will pull up various things. You can
Okay, but I
also
assume a collection is curated by a human, while more like this is using another algorithm.
Yeah, it's an algorithm or
Okay.
tags or whatever. And you can be it like I could actually like make graphics and stuff for like stock images and sell them to Canva. So sometimes it sets like I would make a collection. But let's see, police, highway. This is probably gonna be traffic stops though. You can, if you already have a frame, even if you don't, you can like click drag. Like, I mean, that looks cool, but like that would never be the, like it would be the actual.
I mean, it's kind of artsy. I like it.
Okay, it bothers me because that's no, like it would never look like that. Actually, they would not put that. If it's an, I don't care how nice and fancy the Boston Globe is. If like a dead body's involved, they're going to try to show it.
Good point.
That one I think is good. So now
I do like that one too. Yeah.
We get into these other things. So here, obviously, like that's a stock thing. You don't have that. But you could add something here. There is.
Yeah, I was thinking like for that one, a picture of the courthouse, or like someone walking up to the courthouse.
All right, so we go
vaguely.
Here. Boston Courthouse. I don't know if this actually is. This is where I need Scott. Info. Okay, it is. Oh, that's for U.S. appeals. Never mind. Because that would not be federal.
I was gonna say that looks a little fancy.
Yeah. Hang on. Because this is the other thing you can do. Google Images. Boston Municipal Court Department.
Yeah, there you go.
Copy image.
I believe that's the one that I downloaded earlier.
Okay. Bam. Copy paste. And that will upload it. You can also like go over here, click upload files, or like click and drag in there. It doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean to put that one there. That is the problem. If you hover even remotely over a frame, it will try to replace it. So I tend to not actually work in frames that often. And if you double click, you can... crop.
Okay.
And you can also like...
That's good.
It'll do...
It occurs to me that I should actually probably put this story in the bigger second heading that's below, and then a different one in the one on the right, but... Okay. I don't know.
There it is.
I'd have to play with it personally.
So, and the thing is, you also don't necessarily have to have an image for these. But this gets back to the... I keep closing it. Having these were the other headings, because guess what? You just use those. I hear people fussing at animals. Just a second. Entertain our guests. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hello, guests. If you give me an indication of what would entertain you in chat, I can do my best to entertain. Unfortunately, I don't have a Type 5 stand-up comedy routine. That was on my mind because I went to the guitar store today. So I'll tell you all the story of the guitar store, where I went to pick up my Gibson Les Paul. And I saw some of the employees, the manager Dave and Lance, who are absolutely awesome. Really love them. They take good care of everybody who comes in. and I had fun talking to them. And Dave was talking about how he thought about being a stand-up comic when he was a kid. Thought it would be cool, but he hasn't developed a routine yet. And that's my story. That's all I got. I suppose since we're here doing TTRPG stuff, in case you aren't familiar with it, the game I'm running for some of my friends on Sundays.
I am back.
Oh, welcome. Good.
Yeah. No, apparently Remy was just being a little exuberant. And then my uncle was like, I got a new car. You should come see my new car. And I'm like, he's like, are you busy right now? And I'm like, I am literally live streaming. I thought Remy was like breaking things.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, that was a thing. I mean, like, I feel bad because I'm like, yeah, I do want to see your new car and it sounds really cool, but also bye. All right, so here we go. The Boston Globe on October 20th, 2017 at midnight. Yeah, you could probably just pick any of these.
Yeah. So before we get too far into picking one, what I'm confident in is that like the Glenridge chiropractor story is important because that's their current case. The college student that they pinned their as the fall guy for their last thing is important, and I think there should be something about like fentanyl laced drugs or something, or PCP laced drugs, that because that was kind of related to the first case as well as kind of their explanation for what happened. So those are kind of the three like directly relevant articles that I had in mind, and then the other two I was like, I don't know, maybe just for thematic reasons, like something about citizens who are uncertain about government surveillance, because that's thematically important to Delta Green, and the other one that occurred to me because I had the same idea as you of like, if I just need to fill space, I'll use an actual article. There's one about a railroad strike that was blocked by Congress.
Okay. See, I go for the spicier ones, like white nationalists, Richard Spencer drowned out by protesters. I remember that. Oh, was that the one? Oh, that was the University of Florida. Yeah, I remember that was all. He was up in DC area a lot. Anyway.
Perhaps it's just my personal politics, but I think Congress blocking a strike is pretty messed up.
No, that is messed up.
But yeah.
Like, if I can dunk on people, I can. Like, I will.
True.
Like, but there are, yeah. So that's a thing. There are also like a whole bunch of like, fake news generators, blah, 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 that you can use to fill that in. You can also find articles, because it doesn't have to be like from that time period, but like essentially find a case. Like if you're, talking about like the opioid epidemic, you can find it. Like you can find a write-up from the Associated Press about it, and use that. Like if you're not, like I can't, because like I'm wanting to, I mean, for this one, I would be like, once I rip all the Dusk Vol and like setting specific stuff out of here, I could sell that. Which means I have to have written all of it. But,
right.
But if you're just using it for like a handout at home, there's no reason why you couldn't. Just use especially for modern stuff, it's pretty easy to just use something. But yeah, I would have, so you've got like, this is their current case. You either have that one there or there. And the beautiful thing is that you can do like, see more at, such and such page. Would just go like right down here.
Right.
So you don't even have to have the whole thing.
Right. They'll just like continued page 7 or whatever. Yeah.
Right. So that is roughly what it is. I would say now it kind of comes down to also like if you wanted to have any sort of advertisements, again, it's a lot easier for me when they're older, because I could find them like in print a lot easier. But you could probably find some of the ones online. You could probably make them. It's just like it's easier to do like the okay, next side, like ridiculous patent medicine stuff with these, like with the various assets than it is to do like a modern newspaper ad.
Yeah, yeah. The one of the upsides of Dust Bowl is the setting,
Right, or like any,
so
or
you've
even
got a lot of colorful stuff to put in there.
yeah, well, and a lot more assets and stuff to draw from. Did I end up like shrinking this when I was moving
Okay,
the signs around?
that makes
Yeah.
sense too, I guess.
Because let's see. All right, I also want to look at. Okay, let's get rid of that, and let me see if there's a print version. Does not look like it. Let's drop this back to 2010. Nope, that's too many zeros. 2010. That's all home pages, past pages. Alright, well, we'll let go of Boston Globe, because I know there's a Wall Street Journal. Also, apparently Scott is doing work, and because his work server was down for a while. So he's just not getting to it. Alright, here we go! So this is from this year, but... oh my god, that what is this? Rage Against the Dying of the Light. Is that an ad for light? That is an ad for lights. What in the sweet hell?
That's hilarious.
That's amazing. That is amazing. There's a car wash. Wallace and Gromit? Okay. Sorry, moving on. It's also one of those, it is easier to do with, like, local, like, more local newspapers, because they'll typically have, like, weirder stuff. Like, this is more just, like, bigger. And this is also, like, by the Wall Street Journal.
Oh no, see, this is perfect though. I just have to come up with the company that my players hate the most to advertise to them.
Yeah. And
because that'll make them laugh.
Right, yeah. And you can pretty much find like whatever. Let's go with. Let's see if there's a 2017 Wall Street Journal, or if it's all the past pages. Yeah, it looks like most of it is just that. But yeah, you can find, and that's also just like a Google search of like funny Boston newspaper ads. Boston Globe, top 10 sponsored stories and events. TV commercials. Like, for New England jingles we can't get out of our heads. I will, however, ask Scott, because I don't know if he's listening while he's working or not. We might be too distracting, but let me ask him.
For these particular people, the first two things that come up to me are Denny's and Foot Locker.
Denny's and Foot Locker?
Yeah.
Nope. 2010s. See, like, unfortunately, there's, like, just not a lot in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To, like, find it. However, there's a logo. We could make one. You know? Like, that is a thing.
Yep.
Flucker add. But yeah, essentially it's just kind of scrolling around, finding it, or like I said before, finding like some newspapers from around. Just gonna go with newspapers. 2017. USA newspaper.
And just to clarify, I am far less concerned about anachronisms than you think.
I know, but the point of this
So
is
if you don't mind, yeah, okay.
You're like, please stop. No one cares.
No, I just mean I feel bad if I'm making you.
No, this is
to
what
like
I
find
do.
the exact thing.
This is what I do. I find this fun. Okay, this is my type of neurospicy. Leave me alone.
Fantastic.
Yeah, let's try USA Today. Past pages, how I hate you. Alright, there's creator. I don't want past pages. Wait, go back. Where is past pages? No, go away. Okay, it's not past pages. Luciferian space alien. Okay! I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
What?
Some weird title. I don't want to know. But, I mean, yeah, so if you don't care so much about anachronisms, here's another 2025. This is USA Today. History in the making. Like, that's the other thing. It's, like, not a lot of... You'd probably find more things... Actually, yeah, that's probably in 2016 than 2017, potentially. But, yeah, because it looks like now, like, a lot more of the ads, it's either big ads or, like, not a lot. So you can also add in just, like, some, like, dumb, like, interest, you know, like, human interest story. There is, of course, also, like, the barcode. That is the thing, actually. That they do have. Which would fit right down here. Barcode. Do I know what these scan to be? No, I have no idea. Also, okay, here's the other thing to go over. There's photos and then there's graphics. Graphics are essentially like PNGs, or they are more like graphic images rather than, you know, photos. Sometimes, like with these barcodes, they have pretty much the same type of thing. It's not that different. Sometimes they are different, and also all of these are pro. So,
Okay.
Now, you can, if you wanted to lose your mind, you can make one of these, you know, with just lines. You could. Or...
I don't think I want to do that to myself.
You just do this.
Unless the barcode was a QR code that led to somewhere really silly, like a Rickroll. That would actually be funny.
Actually, wait a minute. I think... Is there one in Canva that can do that? But anyway, like, you can just also... I mean, this is USA Today, but just copy-paste it in there. But hang on. QR... Code generator!
Oh my god, you can actually do that?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Nope, I just realized I don't want people to see what I'm following on YouTube. Hang on. Yoink that one out of there. You want to Rickroll? Do you want to go old school?
Yeah, just a classic Rick Astley.
Okay.
I know it's a little vanilla for some people, but man, it's just...
There we go. Hopefully people didn't get, like,
the sound of that song is just too good.
All right. This QR code is never going to give you up. There it is. Looks like we can also customize it. Oh, okay. But yeah, there it is.
Amazing.
Let's test it. Come here, phone. Yep. It works.
Let's go.
Scott suggested the Broadway in Boston announces 2017-2018 season. Although if this is in October, it probably would be the 20... Oh yeah, it'd be the 2017-2018 season. You could probably do that. Or also Boston-based fantasy sports gambling for ads.
Awesome.
But yeah, you could probably just throw in like a Hamilton ad or something in there, and that would probably work too.
Yes. Love Hamilton.
But anyway, so if you look at this, it's like blah, 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 copyright USA Today, blah, 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 blah. So you would just want to have something... let's try this. Boston Globe barcode. Come here. Just show me any of like the full front pages, because you will have it. There it is. There it is. Okay. Oh, now I can show you this. So I see Wikipedia. Go to the bottom. Wikimedia Commons has media related to the Boston Globe. And then that's everything related to the newspaper.
Oh, cool.
So that's what I was talking about before. But this is the... Because this has... okay. Well, the quality is god-awful. But... Okay, it also... Yeah, you can also have, like, a, index. So... Like, I have over here... sections. And like page numbers and stuff, you can do all of that.
Oh, good. Yeah, okay,
that's another thing to fill in. I would copy that, paste that. And then maybe like just throw like a subscribe today. And just slap that down there, just so it's not entirely by itself. And that ups the chance that they will click on it. Maybe. Alright. Okay, one of the things you can do, if you select more than one thing, you can use the position tools to, like, center them amongst themselves. So, like, I've got all of those.
Oh, neat.
Now they're all aligned.
Got it. So you just, like, shift-click all of them to select, or select
or
all of them,
and
then...
or however you want to do it.
Got it.
There is also, on the positions, there's a layers tab. So if you've got so many things on top of each other you can't grab a thing, you can probably find it over there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Once you have something the way you like it, you can also click the little lock. Like, you can lock it, either lock or lock position only, which then makes it impossible to, like, select and move.
Okay.
which is handy.
And that's just right click and then a lock
and
button.
it pulls up the
Okay.
menu.
Got it.
Pretty much everything here, like I taught myself how to use it. It does what it says. Like there's nothing where you're like, oh, like layer mask. What is that? Like, it's pretty. It's made for people who don't do graphic design to do graphic design.
Oh, good. That's me.
Right now, when you want to get fancy with it, notice right now we've just got a blank background, which hurts my eyes. So if you go up here, newspaper, there are a couple of ways to do this. You can get backgrounds. However, a lot of times it's hard to find these that are just like newsprint. Because like this looks good until you scroll in and you see, no. It's not like newspaper. It's like scrapbooking paper. Now, I feel like I'm giving away all my tricks.
Well, that is the point of a tutorial, is it not?
It is. Texture Labs. Texturelabs.org. Free textures. You want to go over paper. And you can find textures over here as well. I believe there are a few newspaper ones. Let me search it. I did a test run of this. But yeah, it's typically this works more for like, there we go, old newsprint paper. So this is, again, old. The nice thing about this, free for commercial use. But if you want to have a little bit of age, this is like vintage. Canva does have, if you go to old paper, like you can get a lot of, ye old timey signs. But it's difficult to get, old but not decrepit.
Right.
The other thing, though, is most newspapers are gray. So just find a gray. And, just barely gray. Like just pull it off white.
Okay, yeah.
And possibly... Because sometimes they can get a little bit on the brown. Like, it kind of just depends on what you're doing. But you can kind of get there, which at least cuts that massive glare off of it.
Right.
That does, of course, make the QR code stand out a little bit. But I think there's a way to edit... Oh, yeah. Background color. Come here. So if you click on that, it will pull up the... you got the hex code. I'm saying these things like they mean things. But they're...
I understand that one.
Okay. There we go. So that blends in. So that's a little bit handier. Let's see, what did I use? I think I used over here... Did I just have background? No. What do I have on here? Beige paper texture background. Okay. Probably that.
Ooh, that's good.
Because you can, like, some of this is you just gotta go through and look at them all, and you kind of get used to it. I find the ones that I like, I stick with it. You can, the nice thing, even though they're open in different windows, you can copy and paste from one Canva thing to another. And it will paste into the background. So see how, like, it changed again? This is, I had done some editing, I believe. No, I had not. I think that was the way it came. But you can also, transparency, like different things. Like if you wanted to give it the texture, but not necessarily the color, like there are ways to do that. Obviously now you would need to change the QR code thing again. I personally think this looks more modern newsprint to just have that color and knock it back.
Yeah.
Now, the does this give you enough stuff to play with for Bix? I realize we've been going for like an hour and 40 minutes. Is this like kind of
Yes.
you've got stuff to play with? Okay, because
So much stuff to play with.
Right,
yes.
Because I want to show you some stuff here. Let me open it up over here. Find. Because you get to see...
Because you've taught me like conceptually, foundationally, ground up, I think I could use it to create like a conspiracy theorist website that the live streamers run, right? That has like more preposterous stories referencing aliens and mythology and stuff. But yeah, okay.
All right, so this is because people who watch Blades in the Darks and people who play, like, you recognize this page. So you see how this looks like it's rolled.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Like the edge of a folded paper. Yeah.
And so that is for all of these. I think it's on my laptop. I just have a Photoshop file that I use for it. Canva does have like transparent gradients that you can, if you find the right ones.
Okay, so if I wanted this to look like just half of the front page, I could put that at the bottom.
Yep.
Like it's a folded front page that's in a container, and that's why it's pristine.
Yes.
Like, so, and I'm following. You could
do a similar thing like with it in Canva, and I have done that. But for me, what works better is to use Photoshop, or in this case, Photopea, because it is free and browser-based. Look at that. So what you do is you come here. We're going to use this one. You go up to share. You go to downloads. You have all these options. You have less options because you don't pay for it. You go to the page that you're on. Current page. Download. This is why my downloads look terrible, because I move things back and forth all the time. Here we go. All right. Clickety-click. Drop it in. Have you ever used Photoshop?
No.
All right. Then this is probably for our advanced users at home. Because this is a
I use Microsoft Paint. Does that count?
If I say gradient layer, does that mean anything to you?
Absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, you're gonna learn something today, son. Gradient layer. Overlay. All right. We're gonna actually no. I don't want it to be that full layer. I'm gonna play with it. I'm trying to remember how to do it because I don't have like my actual gradient on here that I use for it. I might though. But like this works. So see how that has roughly the same shape?
Yeah.
You're just essentially finding something. The problem is because it has the white in it. So what we're gonna do is get rid of that opacity. Try this again. So there we go. Like that's with an overlay, so you see how it's kind of hinting there. You just kind of like play around. Like hard light is too much, linear light's too much. Multiply. You know, it's like you kind of play with it. You can also duplicate up layers and then change based on things okay, I'm impressed with myself. That one actually looks pretty good.
Does look good. Well done.
But if you want to make it a fold, you've got that one. You're gonna just duplicate these babies and give it a rotate.
Okay. Fantastic.
then find, wherever half is, like whatever you want to do it.
Yeah.
And then you are going to have to deal with the overlap there, which again, I have not done, but that's one of those, like, essentially you would do this, then look up, folded newspapers. But the other thing you can literally do is folded newspaper, Photoshop, tutorial.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And essentially you just, so that's like those kind of folds. Essentially you just find one that's like, how to create a folded paper corner. So not that. It is, I do have the issue of like finding exactly what it, like the right words to find the thing. Because folded newspaper is different. Like, it's like, here are how to make folds. But I'm like, but I want to make paper. With like those various sides. But essentially it's just like, look at a picture of it, figure it out. Used to, Canva had some frames you could drop in that would add folds. They've got, nope, I didn't want that open. They've gotten rid of those, but because I use them in old designs, I still have them. I just move them around, but I can't find them anymore. But yeah, but essentially you would just want to like deal with that. You could probably just, while I'm doing this, we're just chatting. But this is also something I do, and also like don't tell my GMs, who are also like, my boyfriend and also watching this, probably, that this is what I do during games. A lot of the time, simply because it gives me something to do, and I enjoy it.
We've all been there. You need something to occupy your hands while the game is happening.
Right.
I get it.
And I can't. So anyway, so like, basically playing around with like masking, this. Obviously, you want 0 hardness, do. And try to figure that situation out. But that is a slightly different beast than like the size.
Yeah.
And obviously it would look probably better if it were down at, at the bottom where it actually, nope. Actually would be, that sort of thing. Oh. No, I want all of them, thank you. Oh! This folder. This. Did I put it all in the folder? What? What is happening right now? These 3 layers. I have no idea what's happening.
Nor do I. It doesn't seem to want to move downward.
Yeah, it's being a butt. I mean, that is kind of the downside of using, like, browser-based Photoshop.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure that out, and I'm not really paying attention. But anyway, that gives you things like these. Then when you drop it down on a thing, you can add drop shadows, you can add whatever. And one of the reasons why I pulled this up is quick before we go. Is there anything, like, do you have any questions on how I made any of these, or the newspaper, or any of that? Most of this is just assets.
Yeah, I mean, I think most of my questions would be more related to like finding good assets.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you have a lot of really good resources for that. That would be helpful.
Yeah,
but,
I can most of these came from, like, they come from Canva. It's more just like finding inspiration from places. So like Madame Wiltshire's right here. This is entirely made in Canva. So, like, the frame is one thing. That's a different thing. Like, you see the different groups. But I made this entirely in Canva. Let me get these back down before I mess up stuff. These paintbrushes, Canva. Gun, I don't know if it was in Canva. No, I had to upload that one.
Did you make the dancing monkey on your own?
That is in Canva.
Ah,
This dancing monkey. So, okay, originally
the harping monkey. Excuse me.
originally I was gonna play the harping monkey, straight because I did make this, but as soon as I saw the monkey doing the walk like an Egyptian from the Bangles, I was like, okay, well now we got to make fun of like imperialism and everything else while we're doing it. Let me see if I have the dancing monkey, like as its own file here. Just a sec. Or did I make it in? What I will sometimes do if there's things that are all roughly the same size, I will just have one document and just keep almost treating it like a folder. So it's like, this is my Blades in the Dark folder. Which is probably not the best way to do it, but I did it. So that's a thing. I might have... Did I make it in here? Let me open this in another thing and scroll. Because sometimes I will just make them like down below on a different thing. I might have already deleted where I was doing all of it. I can find that for next week. But essentially, the text, I did import that font. But, like, I mean, I made all this. It's not like they just have this, like, slightly racist Eruvian monkey dancing poster. But what I did was... Actually, hang on. Let me stop messing with my actual landing page. We're going to go over here. Because I have in my uploads the dancing monkey. No, wait. It's just easier if we just copy, paste. Thank you. Okay, now I can mess with it. So, I made this in Canva with the fonts, with the frame, with the monkey, which is just here in Canva. Then I... Maybe. Come on. Come on. No. This is what happens when I try to do things quickly, while also running my yap. I find nothing. Anyway, point is, did all that, exported it to Photoshop. I have some brushes that are torn paper edges, that I can just make torn edges. And then I use one of, like, essentially, how to make creases in paper. I made creases in paper. Like, I mean, it's the same sort of thing of that. And that's actually the way I got that to look folded is, again, for the advanced users at home, using Photoshop's displacement tool, which will actually, like, move it around like it's been smudged from being folded. And that's where a lot of the free textures comes in really handy, because you can use them for that. And then I put a drop shadow on it.
That's so cool.
But yeah, I believe Dancing Monkey, graphics. I mean, you can find some good ones. But I wanna see if I can find.
So for some of us who are goobers, how did you get the like text on the harping monkey?
How did I get what?
The wavy text on the harping monkey itself.
So, if this were an InDesign or Photoshop or other places, you could just have a type on path tool. That is not here. That's part of the reason why I was trying to find it. But like I said, because I've made, like, this one's not changing, I might not have it saved. But here's what we're going to do, because I can replicate it. This was, like I said, it was a font I had to import because they just didn't have good... There it is. So, but what you can do is make, under effects, curve text. But you can only curve it one way, so what you do
You do har and then ping.
Ping.
And line it up. Okay, yeah.
Do it the other way.
Clever.
Now, I had a problem with this exporting, actually, because it would show one way here and then export differently, probably because I imported the font. So I ended up having to take a screenshot of, like, the harping and then throw it in there, which was weird.
Huh.
But essentially, that was a group that I just copy-pasted. Oop, nope. Mon. Key. And this was what took forever, was getting these to line. Like, that's kind of close, but also you can do letter spacing. So, like, you know...
Right, and fine-tuning it so that it looks
right.
the best it can.
Yeah.
Right.
And then figuring out the...
Because I can see, like, it looks fine like that, but it looks better on the real one.
Yeah, and so this is probably a good, like, 20, 30 minutes. I mean, like, breaks in between, but, like, oh, does it look good this way? No, let me move it. No, I need to move this one thing. You can also just do it if I literally just... You could make, and I almost did, just each one its own text block and just rotate them. If you have the shape.
Right.
And then it was just finding all the various, like, fonts. And again, that was, hang on, did I copy it into my... No, I didn't. Into my Duskwell ads? No, I didn't. I can just search Harping Monkey. Aha! It's in this one. That's right, because I did the thing and I crossed the streams, I think. And yes, I crossed the streams. It was in a thing for Sandpoint. There's a reason why I don't do that. Also, I didn't even title this. Like, the title of it is add a little bit of body text, because that was the first thing I dropped in. It's a mess. It is an absolute mess. But okay, so here it is. So you can see, so the harping, this is actually, like, Harping Monkey that's the screenshot that I took.
Okay,
Because I couldn't get it to, because see, it looked right here, but then when I would export it, the G would be touching that. Like, it was odd. But this is info, if anybody wants it, vintage illustration of Dancing Monkey. And I get it for free. But you can, so info, it'll give you all that stuff I can also do. See more like it. So there we go. So here's, you know, if I wanted another Dancing Monkey.
Yeah.
Very cool.
The fonts, this was Googling, again, fonts that made sense, or, like, would work. Nadira was one that was, like, the appropriate time period. These are two of the ones that I had downloaded. I played around with them. Yeah, that was the, like, why is harping not working? And then that was, like, the clean version that I was going to use. Then I realized I wanted to throw it into Photoshop and make it look like Sirocco had shoved it in his pocket before bringing it to the group.
Yeah.
Which is something that, like, I do a lot. Because it makes things look more, like, lived in. To do that. And it's why if you play in a game with me, like a long running game, you'll randomly get messages like in the middle of the night being like, what does your character's handwriting look like? Would they say this? But this is one you'll recognize from Sandpoint.
Yep.
This was my insanity. But see, here's where it shows the danger zone. So, like, if I were to print it out, that might not print. But this is, again, it's like, I'm just showing the different boxes. It's made the exact same way. I found, you know, like, here's like an old book with, you know, double columns or whatever. I want to keep it this way. In order to, like, cut things off and make it look ripped, you got to make it look smaller. So you just select it all. Fun fact, this handwriting right here is based on... Actually, sorry. This handwriting, the blue handwriting, is based on the Saucy Jack handwriting from Jack the Ripper cases, like that postcard. And this one is based off of one of the detectives, which is Miter Square. They're not for commercial use, so I can't sell these. But I love them so much because they're actually Victorian and actually correct. However, fun story from Miter Square, and then we will leave this off at the end of... We just get to... New page. So that's the font, right?
Mm.
See how that E? That E is ugly. Some
Yes, it
people
is.
make multiple versions. This is on the bracket. That looks much better. That's why so many things up here have the like, oh, this is misspelled, this is misspelled. So I'm going to copy that one. Come down here. Come on. Or not. Scroll. Scroll with me. Or not. You could just... Anytime now. Anytime. Ilverandon, things I make, blah, 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 blah. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Moving on. Here we go. Change this into anything else. That's what it looks like. Because I have to replace everything with brackets. So, fun fact, the reason why the 7 Dooms on the 7 Dooms of Sandpoint landing page is misspelled, that we decided to roll with it by saying that, oh, Nesta wrote it and Nesta's dyslexic, because Jen is like, well, I'm dyslexic, my character can be dyslexic. That's because I had originally written it in Miter Square, and so all the E's were brackets. We changed it out of brackets, and I was tired by the time I did that. So it ended up with that happening. And that is why
such a good Sandpoint lore.
7 Dooms of Sandpoint. Because at a certain point I was like, I'm not going to change it. Like it's been too... It's gone on too long. And here we go. This will be the last Trito. Because I've got it right here. Where's 7 Dooms? The Sandpoint landing page. Come on. Come on. It takes a while to look. I have a ton of stuff in here.
Yeah. So just so I understand, because I am a goof, when you put in the bracket, that's something that the developer of the font specifically did, like, in case you don't like this E, here's an alternate version.
Yeah, and I can show you how that is.
Okay.
But, yeah, so there are...
but it's not like something that you did yourself to, like, modify the font.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I know, like, how technically you could, but yeah, I believe somewhere in here something is... Maybe I got real sad and I decided to go back and fix it, but something on here I'm pretty sure is misspelled, because it's all about the E's. Strets. There it is. 5th Doom. Stocks the Strets. And, like, there were a few... Because, again, I was having to, like, fix it. But, yeah, also, like, this is the other thing. All of these... So these are all fonts in Canva. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because everything here is Canva. I mean, that I stole... The maps, obviously, and Sandpoint stuff came from Sandpoint. Jen drew that. But, yeah. All right. Let me...
You got the menus.
Yep. There's gonna be more stuff on it. There's, like, 30-something pages in this thing. Anyway, let's go back to yours. So, over the next week, you can work on it. I mean, I'll help you. It's not like I'm only gonna help you when the cameras are rolling.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That'd be brutal.
That would be brutal.
No,
it must be content.
I'm gonna need some time
It must be content. Now, if other people want help, if they want to do this, I just find this easier than me trying to talk my way through it, because you can stop and be like, wait a minute, how does that even actually work?
Yeah.
Oh, right. One other thing. I lied. One other thing. Because I did promise you I'd show you. And that's how to make a t-shirt.
Yes.
So if you go to your I'm not going to my main Canva page on the stream because it shows all my designs, but there are all these different options. You click on more. There will be... Is it print products? Clothing. T-shirt. There we go. Untitled t-shirt design. It will go on a t-shirt.
Oh my god. And you can just put a picture on it.
See that over there?
Oh my god.
I believe you said... Property of Gracie.
Underneath, like, hands off my man.
Yep, and I'm gonna make you a better looking one. Don't even. You're getting a better one. But yeah, $25 to order one from Canva.
Man, for $25, I'm gonna get myself a Gracie and Jasper t-shirt.
I
no question.
It looks like it only goes up to XXL though. Oh, okay, that's women. So that does make me concerned because sometimes women's shirts are like, hey, who fits in that? So like men's sizes, also only XXL. That is sad. Unless they're like truly sized that way. Anyway, looks like you can also like print on the back. You can also make a little onesie.
My goodness, I could get that for my nephew.
Yep. There's also tote bags, hoodies, sweatshirts. Yeah. So.
Maybe a tote bag is the way to go. Oh my god.
Yeah, you want a tote bag? All right, hang on. I got you. Property of Gracie.
Oh my god, that's adorable. I love it.
I mean, could also get a hoodie.
Ooh, hoodies are good too. I'll have to think about it. Right. Which one is right for me?
I will give you options.
That's...
I'm actually curious. I want to know. Wait. Does it say how long it takes to ship? Because man, why did I not think of this? I can get something ridiculous for the meetup at Crashes this year, and I can make it in Canva. I could make the Pugfather poster that I made on a t-shirt. That's a thing. I mean, the other thing I could do is something like, you know, make merch for locations we made in Dustfall. That's a thing.
That is fun.
I don't know the quality of this stuff to order. Like, I've never ordered clothing from here. That's actually something that, like, I'm now very interested in doing.
Sure, there's reviews online and you can get an idea of
but I mean, if
whether
not,
people liked it or not. But yeah.
I mean, you can use it for like Zazzle or like any of the other things. But like, yeah, no, it's cool. You can also do like photo books, like they'll print it. Not sponsored. # not sponsored by Canva. This is just what I use. Because it is honestly cheaper than paying for Adobe and you get all the stock. So why not? But anyway, I'm gonna hop off the stream now. I mean, don't you run away, Cody. But like, hopping off the stream. Maybe we can, make you an avatar for this that's not Gracie talking to us. Or maybe the team loves Gracie. We don't know. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I forgot to make an end scene for this, so it's just gonna end. Oops.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody. Bye.
Thanks, bye.